What's up, Taiwan? How's it going? I'm Jaime Ocon with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. U.S. and Taiwan defense officials are now saying that China could use force to take over Taiwan as early as next year. China's increasing military presence in the region is raising calls for Taiwan to enhance its defenses. China has been increasing its military pressure in the Taiwan Strait, raising concerns that Beijing might move to attack Taiwan earlier than projected. U.S. officials have originally estimated a potential Chinese invasion of the island nation by 2027, but Admiral Mike Gilday, U.S. Chief of Naval Operations, moved up that time frame in an interview with an American think tank.
In my mind, that has to be a 2022 window or potentially a 2023 window. It's how the Chinese behave and what they do. And what we've seen over the past 20 years is that they have delivered on every promise they've made earlier than they said they were going to deliver on it.
China sees Taiwan as part of its own territory and has not ruled out the use of military force to take the island. At a legislative hearing in Taipei, the country's National Security Bureau Director General, Chen Mingtong, was asked about the U.S. Admiral's comments.
武力攻台没有赢的可能，会造成国际上对它的经济制裁。
Taiwan's foreign ministry also responded to questions about the possibility of an invasion timeline being advanced.
外交部我们对于相关的报道，我们没有细节可以分享，也没有进一步的评论。
But as far as Taiwan's biggest ally is concerned, helping the country protect itself is a priority.
The U.S. is looking at all options on the table to ensure that the rapid transfer of defense capabilities to Taiwan can take place as swiftly as possible.
Taiwan has been under threat of invasion from China for decades, but if and when that will happen has always been under debate. Taiwan's defense minister has said that China could have the capability to seize the island nation as early as 2025, increasing the urgency to bolster the country's defenses.
我们无论如何，就是不管它这个 timetable 是怎么样的状况。 那台湾现在就是最优先的，就是要增加刚才您说的 anti-ship 或 air defense 这个防空跟反舰的这些飞弹。
It's clear that the U.S. and Taiwan aim to further defense cooperation, and no matter the timeline, Taiwan's priority will always be to defend its sovereignty. With Taiwan's local elections about a month away, there have been calls for candidates to put a greater focus on the environment. Our reporter Rick Lauer went to the capital's City Hall, where activists were hoping to put climate change on the political agenda.
It's election season here in Taiwan. In just over a month, people across the country will be going to the polls to vote in local officials, from county chiefs to city mayors. That means politicians are out on the streets and on the front of newspapers doing whatever they can to secure votes. So these environmentalists outside the capital City Hall are putting on a display to remind them of the climate change related issues that really matter to Taiwan's voters.
So far, we don't see any climate policy proposed by the candidates. So it's really a shame because Taiwan is in great danger by climate change. So local government, especially big cities, are the front line to combat climate change.
Greenpeace took an online survey to find out what people care most about, and they displayed the most popular choices outside Taipei city government. Low-emission transport zones in cities, net zero social housing, and government-provided reusable food containers were among the most pressing issues. Taiwan has seen unprecedented droughts in the last few years, as well as record-breaking rain in the last week. Many put these down to climate change.
The warming temperature will cause a lot of problems. For example, the energy shortage, energy blackout, and the water demand and water shortage. So the mayor candidate will need to consider more about associated issues, how we respond to heat from multiple aspects, from social welfare and elderly care, and how change our environment to be greener and cooler.
Taiwan is often described as a raucous democracy with one of the highest voter turnouts in the world. November's elections are already dominating local media, with accusations flying between politicians of everything from plagiarizing university theses to money laundering. One candidate is even being urged to drop out of a race over a decades-old murder charge. Many feel that more attention needs to be paid to the real issues affecting the public.
We want the candidates that can help us to build a better future for our next generation, right? So climate change is an issue related to our future. We want a candidate that they see this and a vision for our future, and that's why we focus on the policy instead of politicians.
Perhaps the most closely watched race this year is the Taipei mayorship. It's seen as a stepping stone to the presidency. We will have to wait another month to see who will get the keys to Taipei City Hall and other seats of power around the country. But environmentalists hope it will be the issues and not the politics that will guide those in charge. Alex Chen and Rick Lowett in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Tackling violent crime has become a hot topic in Taiwan's capital following a deadly shooting in the city on Wednesday night. And with local elections fast approaching, Taipei City mayoral candidates are weighing in on the issue. Eric Gao reports.
Public safety has raced up the political agenda as campaigning heats up for local elections next month. A gang-related shooting spree in the capital this week has become a stark reminder to politicians of one of the biggest issues that affect voters' lives. The shooter injured 4 people, including a police officer, before killing himself. Taipei mayoral candidates have spoken out about violence in the city and their plans to tackle it. One of the most vocal was Vivian Huang, who until recently was Taipei's deputy mayor and whose duties included supervising the police.
台北市的治安事件到目前为止，重大犯罪事件几乎是100%破案。那当然，这次的不幸的事情，还是警察这边我觉得谴责暴力，然后绝不姑息。
The ruling Democratic Progressive Party's candidate says the mayor is ultimately responsible for the city's response to violent incidents.
市长当然是一个指挥官，那他就会就近成立一个指挥所，那就近去指挥调度。当然也要尊重我们警察的一个专业。
The candidate for the main opposition Kuomintang says more security infrastructure and equipment will help improve the city's safety situation.
我们应该让台北市我们的监视器全面的更新，也希望能够让警方的装备设施能够全面提升，也希望我们的快打部队能够真正的实际发挥更大的功效。
In response to the shooting, Taipei police have launched a crackdown on organized crime. The success of their efforts and the candidate's own law enforcement policies is likely to impact the outcome of the mayoral race on November 26th. Klein Wong and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
59-year-old Taiwanese runner Lo Weiming has completed a 3,100-mile ultramarathon for her second time.
Yay!
Held in New York City, the Self-Transcendence Race is the longest certified foot race in the world. It involves running around the same block in the borough of Queens for nearly 5,000 kilometers. 12 people took part in the race this year. Lo's time of 46 days and 15 hours is 2 days faster than his time from last year, when he became the first runner from Asia to complete the race. He said he couldn't have done it without the support of his wife and said the race was a worthwhile challenge.
这边没有竞争者，只有参与者。那我们超越了自己，那就感到无比的快乐。
One of Taiwan's biggest annual design events is wrapping up this weekend. The Taiwan Design Expo is being held this year in the southern city of Kaohsiung, highlighting the works of over 500 local designers. This year's event was the biggest in the Expo's history and drew big crowds. Organizers say the majority of visitors were from out of town, helping to boost the city's hotel industry. Visitor numbers peaked at 1.3 million during last week's National Day long weekend. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with the images of a life-size Lamborghini at the Paris Motor Show, built entirely out of Lego pieces. I'm Jaime Ocon. Take care and see you next time.